What up, YouTube? It's your boy Marv Over Matter back with another video. And today, what I'm gonna talk about is 3 tricks to get women to approach you, Club Edition. Now, obviously, this only applies if you're handsome or attractive or have some type of desirability. The woman has to desire you, right? Now, this is always a hot topic because for some reason, there's still guys who think women don't approach. They just refuse to believe it, or they think that it only happens if you're a supreme being, right? You got to be a supreme being, like some content creators that we see. Usually they're way above average height. Everything is like way above average, and guys seem to believe that that's the only way that a woman would approach. Um, and sometimes they still don't believe it. They think it's just for content. They think that guys are planning these things, and I'm sure they are to some extent, but trust and believe these events are based on or inspired by true stories, right? This stuff does happen in real life. It's been happening for years. It just is what it is. The thing is, guys don't know what to do to make that happen. They're not paying attention to the guys that this happens to and seeing what are they doing, because it looks like they're doing nothing, right? And in a way, they are doing nothing, and that's kind of what's helping them. Now, this is something I noticed a long time ago. I didn't fully comprehend it, but I used to notice this a long time ago. When I was like 19, I would go out to the club, or not the club, like the 21 plus club, or go out to like parties or whatever, college parties a lot of times. And I would always notice there was certain dudes that was just, I called them wall niggas, right? They would just be on the wall the whole party. They don't move. They don't do anything the whole party. To me, I used to be like, why are they here? They used to look bored. They used to look like they're not interested in what's going on. I'm like, bro, you taking up space. You making it hot in here. I'm trying to dance with these girls. Like, bro, why are you even here? What's the point? But the other thing I will always notice is, all right, I'm done dancing. Maybe I danced with a few girls that night. I'm all sweaty and hot, but I have nothing, right? I'm not leaving with anything. But then I'll look over back in the same exact spot. The wall nigga would be standing there with a girl, a good looking girl a lot of times, but all the time with a girl. I never looked over at a wall. I'm not gonna say never, but 9 times out of 10, I look over at the dude on the wall, and there's a girl talking to him, and he's exchanging numbers or Instagram or something, whatever it was at the time. And I used to be like, well, how is this happening? What is going on? Like, why is that happening? I'm like, bro did not move. So that means she had to come to him. Something happened. I don't know what it is. I used to just assume, all right, maybe it's because he's just a supreme being, right? Maybe because whatever it is. But then as I got older, and I had a friend who was a wall nigga, and he explained to me, like, bro, you don't stop doing all that running around, all that trying to dance, all that trying to, go up and stop all that. He's like, stop. He's like, if they want you, they're going to come get you. I promise you, if they want you, they're going to come get you. And I was like, all right, cool. At first, I didn't believe him. I would fight back. And then I just started conforming to what he was saying because it was working. What he was saying was working, right? So I call it the wall nigga theory. The politically correct term is wallflower, but the wall nigga theory. What are they doing that's different than what most guys are doing, right? If you really think about it, if you really observe, what are they doing that most guys are not doing? It comes down to 3 things that I see, and it works for me. I literally, the last 3 times I went out, got approached. The last 3 times. In Long Beach that I went out to the Long Beach bungalow, and then I went to this bar in downtown Long Beach called Shannon's twice. I got approached all 3 times. So what was I doing that was different than what other guys were doing? And the thing is, it wasn't just me. I saw other guys doing, other wallflowers doing the same thing, and they got approached as well. So it's like, what is it about being a wallflower that makes girls approach? Well, first, you got to be desirable, like I said at the beginning. This doesn't work if your style is off, you got bad hygiene, you know what I'm saying? Just the basics of attraction, if you don't have those, it's not going to work for you. But if you're an attractive guy, why does being a wallflower work? Okay. Trick number 1, or tip number 1. What the wallflower does is he's not thirsty, right? He's not thirsty. He's clearly not thirsty. thirstiness is one of the biggest turnoffs for women. It doesn't matter what you look like. It doesn't matter anything. If you're thirsty, a woman doesn't like that. She doesn't see that as attractive. Even if a guy is good looking, but he's thirsty. Like, let's say a girl has two scenarios. In one scenario, the girl has a boyfriend. He's a good looking dude. He gets girls, whatever. Because a lot of guys will say, well, if you get a lot of girls, that means that, you know, the social proof, right? But that's not how it works. It's if a lot of girls like you, that's social proof. But a girl doesn't want to be with a guy who wants to be with all the girls, because what good does that do for her? She wants a desirable man, as in the other women desire him, but she doesn't necessarily want him to desire all the women. Sometimes there's some overlap, but if she's given the option between, again, two boyfriends, one who, let's say he DMs a whole bunch of girls and they respond, like a lot of them respond, like he DMs, let's say 50 girls and 15 to 20 of them respond and they're going back and forth and he can get them, right? And she finds it, she's still gonna be like, you're thirsty because you reached out to 50 girls. Now this other guy, if he's just chilling, he doesn't reach out to any girls, but 15 girls hit him up and he don't read the messages and he don't open the messages, and she finds that, she gonna be like, my man is the man, right? That it's a difference of like, how do you get the women? Are you getting them because you're thirsty, or are you getting them because the women just want you? That's what women like, a guy that women just want. And he's selective, like, nah, right? That's what's attractive. Now, the wall nigga looks like that. He looks like he's not thirsty. Like, he's not looking around like every girl that has a nice body that goes by, he's not thirstily looking. Like, he sees it, right? He sees it, but he's not overly reacting to it. He doesn't look thirsty in any way, shape, or form. So that's the number one thing. He doesn't look thirsty. So nothing about him is unappealing in that sense, because that's a lot of guys at the club. I remember I was at a club one time and I got there early. I don't drink, so I just grabbed a little water and I sat down. There was a couch that was open. I sat down. I start watching basketball highlights in the club, but nobody's there yet, really. It's like a few people, right? So I'm watching them. I look up, a few more people came in, but it wasn't nothing crazy. So I was like, I'm just gonna watch this until it gets live. So I'm sitting there, I'm watching my little highlights, and then a girl just comes over and she goes, oh, do you mind if is anybody sitting here? I'm like, no, nobody's sitting there. She's like, do you mind if I sit here? I'm like, no, you good, go ahead. And then she sits down, and I'm at this point, I'm not fully aware of everything yet. Like, I'm not a master yet, but I that's obvious. I see what's going on. And then she goes, oh, is that a live game? Like, what game is that? And I'm like, okay, I see what's going on. So now we're talking, and we get to talking about dating and just like the environment that we're in. And I asked the question. There was a dude that was at the bar. I'm like, why? I'm like, he's chilling. I'm like, why didn't you go up to him? I'm like, he's not attractive or whatever? She's like, no, he's not unattractive at all. Like, he looks good. She's like, but he just looks thirsty. Right? He was chilling. He wasn't moving around. He wasn't doing too much, but his eyes was betraying him. Eyes was looking all over like a cartoon. He was just, everything that walked by, he's looking at it up and down. Like, he looked thirsty. He looked like he's on the hunt. Women don't like that look. When you look like you're on the hunt, you can be on the hunt, cool, right? But you can't look like you on the hunt, because now you look thirsty, right? You got to have some stealth about you, because it's just unappealing. It's just unattractive. So I say all that to say that thirstiness, the wallflower, the wall nigga, he does not display that in any way, shape, or form. So he's good on that end. Now, the second thing that he does is he stays his ass put. He does not move. Why is that important? Because how can a girl approach you if you're moving? Oh, I want to go back to number one, actually. Part of the thirstiness is you going around and approaching a bunch of girls. If you're a guy that a girl sees and she notices, and then she sees you go and approach a whole bunch of girls, you're thirsty, right? And you can't be approached if you're approaching. If you're busy approaching, you can't be approached. So that is just, it's just like basic common sense that I feel like guys don't think about. You can't be approached if you're approaching. Bam. All right, now back to number two. He stays his ass put. He's in the same spot. When a girl is going to approach you, she's not going to just beeline for you. 9 times out of 10, she's not going to just beeline. She's not going to see you and go, oh. and just run over 20 feet to where you're at. That's not happening. Girls are subtle. The way they do it is very subtle. They're gonna slowly get closer to you, inch closer, closer, until they get in your vicinity. And then if that doesn't work, then you know what I'm saying? Like it's a process to it. But if you're constantly on the move, right? Let's say you're across the club, she sees you, she's gonna make her way over to you, but it's gonna seem natural. She's gonna make it seem natural, and then by the time she gets there, you already moved to somewhere else. She's not gonna continue to keep going. Like even a guy, if he sees a girl who's attractive and he's about to beeline for her, if she starts walking from the spot she's in, 9 times out of 10, he's gonna stop. He's gonna be headed over. She start moving. He's gonna be like, he have to redo you know what I mean? He has to rebuild the courage up. He has to all that. He's not, or he's gonna chase her down, and that's gonna look thirsty. And a girl is not gonna look thirsty. She's not gonna do that. She's gonna make it look natural, make it look subtle. Their social skills, they're just way more socially savvy. They're not gonna do stuff like that. So if you're always on the move and moving around, you become too hard of a target. Girls are not hunters, they're gatherers. Berries, apples, fruits, they don't move. They stay there. So you need to be like an apple tree, plant your ass there and get picked, right? Set your roots in and just let her pick from the tree. If you on the move, it's over. She's not doing it. She's not doing it. She's not gonna go up. So the wall nigga never moves. So the whole night, however long the girl needs to look at him to make her move, she has the time because he's not moving. So it's gonna work. Like, in part 3 will help explain why this works even more. But the fact that he's just staying put allows her to develop her plan. You know, girls are very methodical. She can come up with different reasons. She can use the environment that he's in and make it work. You know what I mean? She can come up with how she's going to approach, because they need more time to do it. They're not just going to come up 9 times out of 10 and be like, damn, you just look so good, right? Most of the time they're going to come up and ask a question, start a conversation, do something subtle to try to make the interaction happen. And the third thing, this is the most important thing. So if you made it this far, great for you. The most important thing is, do not make eye contact. Do not make prolonged eye contact with women if you want them to approach you, right? It sounds counterintuitive, but listen, hear me out. I'm not saying eye contact is bad, but for this style, if you want women to approach you, it's bad, right? There's different fighting styles. If you're an approacher, eye contact is good. If you want to be approached, eye contact is not your friend. Helicopter, hold on. Yeah, if you're trying to be approached, eye contact is not your friend. Why? Because when we hear girls complain about them not being approached, what do they typically say? He was staring at me, he kept looking at me, but he didn't approach. But then we think, well, if you like him, why don't you just go to him? Because that's not how their game is. The fundamentals of female game, the 101 is, she's trying to be noticed. She needs you to pay attention to her, because once you notice her, then what's supposed to happen is you're supposed to be so enthralled by her beauty and her elegance and all that you just feel compelled to go up and talk to her. So in her mind, her job is to get noticed. That's it. That's her only job, is to get your attention. Once she gets your attention, it's over. And now it's all up to you. And this is why when you just looking at a girl, you're 30 feet away from her and you just keep looking at her, and you letting her, like, you allowing her to see you look at her, right? She's aware that you're looking at her and you're checking her out. You think that's good, but it's really bad. Even if you're gonna approach, it's bad. Because if you take too long to do that, by the time you get over there, she's already second guessing whether you like her or not. You know what I mean? She's already in her head. The reason that you don't want to make eye contact, and the reason that helps her to approach you, and the wall nigga does this, because he looks bored. He looks like he's not paying attention to anything. So he's not giving any girl his attention. He's not paying attention to anything. He's just bored. He's just like, he's looking around. Like, he's looking around, but he's not focusing and zoning in on any particular girl. And so what that does is, okay, because what the girl's gonna do first is try to get you to see her from far away, right? She's gonna try to get you to see her from far away. She's making eye contact with you. She's checking you out. If you see her and she sees you see her, and you have some type of reaction, like some type of engaging reaction, she got noticed and her job's done. Now it's up to you. Unless she really likes you, she thinks you're really attractive, you might be able to get away with that. If it's from way across the room and, you know what I'm saying, you happen to linger a little too long, cool. But most of the time what you want to do is, if you happen to catch eye contact with a girl from across the room, you just blink and look away. Just blink and look away. Or if she catch you, you don't blink, you just keep scanning like you was scanning. You didn't notice her. That's the point. You did not notice her. Because what that forces her to do is her job's not done. Now she still has to be noticed. So now what she has to do is, or what she'll do is, sometimes they'll do this, the walk by. So they just come and just walk by where your area is at. They're not gonna stop, they're not gonna talk, but they just do the walk by. So you can notice them. They're not even gonna look at you when they walk by. Sometimes they will, depends on the girl. If she's really savvy though, she's like socially savvy, she's not gonna do that. She's just gonna look straight and keep walking. And she's looking at you through her peripherals to see if you're looking at her, but she's really just gonna keep walking. If she catches you looking, her job's done. She's gonna stop right there. Now it's all the responsibility is on you now. But if you don't look, all right, let me walk by him again. She might do it again. Now some girls get locked into this walking back and forth, and then because they have too much pride and they don't want to move up to the next level. But if she doesn't have that pride, what she's gonna do next is now come in your vicinity. This is usually, now the thing is, usually guys don't even notice the first part. So that's how girls end up in your vicinity, because you didn't notice them seeing you and looking at you. You didn't make eye contact, but not because you were deliberately not doing it. You just didn't notice. Then she did the walk by and you didn't overly respond. Maybe you didn't even notice her, right? But you didn't overly respond. So now she has to, and sometimes they don't do the walk by. They just skip right to the vicinity. That happens too. But you didn't notice the eye contact. You didn't notice something. So now she has to come in your vicinity. And you're bound to notice her now. And now that you notice her, you're supposed to be enthralled and go over and talk to her. But if you don't, and the wallflower never does, she just has to inch closer and closer until she does what I call the hover and bump. If you watch my videos, you know about the hover and bump. And she bumps in, she goes, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. You have to notice her now. Now you noticed her, right? Now you noticed her. You have to notice her. But you can still play this off, and you just go, oh, you good. Like you still didn't really notice her. If she really likes you, then she'll move on to the next step, right? But she has to really think you're attractive or really, really want to talk to you. But once she does the hover and bump, that's your chance to, have a little conversation. From there, you know what I mean? She pretty much approached you. She came all the way over and made some type of move, did something, right? They're gonna do something to let you know, okay, notice me, I'm here, right? If that doesn't work, and you're just standing there, they're next to you, and you just look bored, and they say something, you go, oh, okay, yeah. And you just keep minding your business. Keep being the wall nigga that you are, right? Just keep minding your business. She's gonna ask a question like, she's gonna say something or ask a question like, are you here by yourself? Or like, you look bored. This happened to me last week. A girl was like, you look bored. Like, there's so many fine women in here. You need to be talking to somebody. You need to be blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? Like, why are you trying to get me to talk to other girls? Come on. Why are you starting this conversation like this? You're doing it because you find me attractive. And then eventually she was like, yeah, you're so fine, like, blah, 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 whatever she said. But that's what happens when you don't give in to all the previous signs. And the main thing is the eye contact and the attention. Your eye contact is attention. Your eye contact is attention. So if you don't give all that, she is forced now to have to be noticed. Because that's female game, is to be noticed. That's why they wear makeup. That's why they, dye their hair bright colors. That's why they wear bright clothes. That's why they show skin. That's why they get surgeries to make all their features more noticeable. Everything is about being noticed for women. Once they are noticed, it's your job. Once they realize, oh, he noticed me, he's into it, all right, it's on him. That's why when you approach, there's no guessing. There's no work that she has to put in. You are just immediately, and you don't know if she finds you attractive because you didn't see her do all the things to let you know, okay, she finds me attractive. She's doing the stages. She's trying to be noticed by me. That's how you know that's the girl you should approach. But if she's not trying to be noticed by you, you know what I'm saying? It could work, but it could not. Like, but I say it doesn't really work because you would think that guys who, for instance, King 68 the Great, why, and if you know any guys in real life who get girls easily, why don't they become thirsty? Like, why don't they become the guys who just approach mad girls? They continue to just chill, sit back, and let the girls come to them. Because whenever they try to go after girls, it doesn't work the same as it works. Even Austin Dunham says that. He's like, I noticed I just kind of chill and let the girls come to me because I have a higher close rate with those girls than I do if I approach. He's like, I don't really get anywhere if I'm the one pursuing, I'm the one approaching, I'm the one doing it. Like, it doesn't really often lead to anything. But even though it's going to happen less, you're going to have less interactions. When the girl does come to you, it's more likely for you to be in a relationship with her. You know what I'm saying? Have sex with her. Have some type of substantial interaction and relationship beyond just a conversation and some flirtiness. It's way more likely for something to actually transpire if she approaches you. And if you apply the wall nigga theory, you're going to have more of those situations where girls are approaching you. Now, again, this is not going to work for everybody. It's just not. It's just the reality of it. And if it doesn't, then approach, right? Like, if you're not a guy that a girl sees or women see and are desire, I'm not saying all women are going to see a guy and desire him, but if you in your group, whatever your group is, whatever the type of women are that like the type of dude that you are, if you're unattractive in that group, it's not going to work for you. The other groups are not going to find you attractive. And if you're in your own group, the girls that typically like the guys that are your type, but you lack things like good hygiene, you lack good style, you lack confidence, even the girls that would typically like somebody like you are not going to like you if you don't have those three things, right? So if you're still just unattractive, it's not going to work. But if you're attractive and there are girls who like the type of guy that you are, they're going to approach you if you do this. And if they don't, you either need to improve your attractiveness or you need to just, you know what I'm saying, use a different fighting style. You got to be more on the offensive. You got to be more, you know what I'm saying? But that it's not a matter of confidence, because it's not like the wall nigga is afraid. He just knows this is going to work. This is the process. Something's going to, like, I'm going to get a girl coming up to me. The girl that likes me is going to come up to me if I just chill and do these things. Does it always work every single night? No. You go on streaks where it works a little bit more than other times, right? But does approaching a girl every single night work? No. Nothing's going to work 100% of the time. But your chances of something happening are higher when you deal with women that want to deal with you, that choose to deal with you, that approach you. And the way to get them to approach you is to not pay them attention until they're forced to break. Like I always say, you have to wait till they break. Then you got them. Think about frame. People love talking about frame. Imagine the frame you're in when the girl has to come and talk to you. Imagine the frame you're in. Imagine how chill you can be, how calm you can be, how whatever, because you know this girl is interested in you. You can maintain frame when you approach, yeah, but you don't really know that she's feeling you. It's a little bit delusional. It's a little bit delusional, which is fine, right? And it works for some guys and they do their thing, but you just don't have to do that if women approach you. If you implement this and it works, and that's the thing, you can test it out. You don't gotta believe me. You can test it for yourself. Go to a bar, you know what I'm saying? Find a good spot. That's another thing about the wall nigga. He has a good spot. Find a good spot where people are gonna be at the bar, you know what I'm saying? On the way to the bathroom, on the way to the entrance or exit. Like, find a place where a lot of people, there's gonna be a lot of foot traffic, and just mind your business and stand there. And see if it works. See if it works. But yeah, that's the video for today. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what y'all think. Drop some more topics in the comment section. I got my coaching calls in the description box, Instagram in the description box. And y'all know what it is. It's mind over matter, Marvel over matter. Let's get it.